So good morning. Today we are going to Keukenhof, which is the famous garden that's close to Amsterdam that is full of all the different varieties of tulips. So this is probably one of the most popular activities to do when you come and visit Amsterdam, especially during the spring. So we got the Keukenhof Express combination ticket, so that includes transportation straight from the airport to the Keukenhof Gardens and includes our entrance into the gardens. So the tickets for an adult was €31.50 and for a child it was €17.50. And so there are a few locations around Amsterdam that do offer this express service where it's a straight bus ride to the Keukenhof Gardens. So for us, it made sense to do it from the airport since we're staying close to the airport.
This is what we're most excited about, to see the tulips and the windmills, because we have seen tons of our friends go to Keukenhof and it is just so beautiful from the photos. And so now we're gonna get on this bus and go see it. Bye.
So we made it here to Keukenhof. It took us about 30 minutes on the bus to get here. So it is 10 o'clock here and there are already several tour buses and lots of people here. So if you can get here as early as possible, I believe they open at 8. But for us, this was probably about as early as we could get out the door and get here. So Keukenhof Gardens are only open for 8 weeks out of the year. This year it was from March 21st through May 12th. And each year all of these flowers are planted every single fall. So they plant the flowers in the fall and they bloom in the spring, and then after the season is over, then they dig up the bulbs and they replant them each year. And they do different designs each year, so it's never the same. So each year, 40 gardeners plant over 7 million bulbs over this 23-hectare garden. And as you can see from our videos today so far, it is very busy. Supposedly over 1 million visitors come here every year during the 8-week span that the gardens are open. If you have kids, they do have a really nice playground here. We've already spent a lot of time here already. Right next to the playground, there is a little food stand that they have hot drinks and snacks and things like that.
Okay, so while Lucas takes the boys to the playground, I am going to explore the gardens a little bit. I went through a maze to get to this gazebo where you can get an awesome view of a tulip field. But there is a line to go up into the gazebo, so if you're here on a really busy day, you might have to wait. Okay, well, I made it to the top, and this is the view you get from the top. So pretty. We're hoping to do bikes today, so I really hope we can do some bikes around the fields to see the flowers up close.
So right next to the windmill, there's a small cafe serving coffee and pastries. And I think the coolest thing is right behind the cafe are these nice tables and chairs, but you can sit there and see all of these tulip fields. So I think that's a really nice view with your breakfast or your coffee or whatever.
Okay, so at this little cafe, we got some yummy stuff. We got an apple tart, Lucas got a tea, and I got a cappuccino. We got this apple tart. Is that what it's called? Apple cake?
Yeah,
tart. And Lucas got a tea with this beautiful view of the tulip field.
So here at Keukenhof, one of the main attractions is the windmill, and you can actually wait in line and go up to that observation level, and you can look out and see the tulip fields. Also here at the windmill, there are two photo ops. They have some giant wooden clogs that you can stand inside and get your picture taken. And then also this is where you can get tickets for the boat ride. So there is a boat ride where you have a tour guide that gives an audio tour, and it takes you around outside of the garden through the canal. It is a 45-minute tour, and it's €10 for an adult or €5 for a child. And then also there is a small souvenir shop too, where they have lots of wooden clogs that you can buy, but also these wooden tulips.
Okay, so after looking at all of these beautiful flowers, I have found my favorite one. It is this one right here.
Me too.
The pretty
Me too.
orange with the yellow. What's your favorite flower?
You said that one.
And I found my favorite flower so far, and it is this nice peach color.
Okay, so something really cool that you can do here in the gardens is walk across these lily pads where you can cross the pond here. It is so fun. It gives me a little anxiety though with Griffin doing it by himself.
So they do have several food trucks and food options while you're here at the gardens. They have a pasta truck, a French fry truck, and a croquette truck. So although the main attraction is outside in the gardens, they do have some indoor flower exhibits. You can walk through and see all the different varieties of flowers that they have inside. And this is really good, so in case it is raining outside or the weather's not too nice or cold, you can at least come inside and still get to see the flowers and be nice and comfortable.
Okay, we are in another building here. This one I think is pronounced Orange Nassau. It is a building full of flower displays that maybe businesses do or people put together that you can take pictures with. And there are some really cool displays in here. My feet are tired, and supposedly there are 15 kilometers of walking trails, and I believe it.
Yeah, we've pretty much walked around the whole garden area. We've been here since
10.
Probably 10 o'clock, and right now it is about 3:15. So we've been here for about 5 hours. I can definitely see how people come and spend a whole day here because the park is just so large, and you could spend all day just walking around and seeing all the flowers. And there's a lot of different things to do while you're here also. A lot of interactive exhibits and photo opportunities. But we've definitely enjoyed our time here so far. So we just finished visiting the Keukenhof Gardens, and it was spectacular. I think it was just so beautiful. It was definitely the most beautiful garden I've seen.
Oh, absolutely.
So they say that it is the most beautiful spring garden in the world, and as far from our experience, what we've seen, I think it is. It did remind us a lot of Mainau, which is the flower island in Germany, but I think honestly Keukenhof was more impressive than Mainau. I think it's definitely worth the visit,
Yes.
and that's why it's so busy with so many tourists, is because it actually is worthwhile. So that is one downside, is that it is pretty busy. We'll have to kind of fight some crowds. So try to get to there as early as possible. But I think it was definitely a cool experience.
Yes.
So now we get to do something that we've been wanting to do for a while, and we get to rent bikes and ride it through the flower fields. So right in front of Keukenhof there is a bike rental service, and so we rented 2 bikes and a child trailer, and we're gonna go put the pedal to the metal and go see some flower fields.
The wait is finally over, and we found a tulip field on our bike ride. Look at that. It is so beautiful. I love all the colors, the orange and the yellows. And I think there's some pinks and reds. It is just so gorgeous.
So now we just stopped at this place called S Pinning, and it is a place where you can pick your own flowers. So I think Maria and Griffin got a bucket, and they're gonna go out into this field and go pick a few flowers.
Okay, we are gonna pick some flowers. They have a picking field over here. I paid for him to pick 5, but you could pick 30 tulips for 10 euro. So that's a really good deal. And then they do have a field in the back that you can go back and walk around, and that is also 10 euro. Oh, whoa, whoa, whoa. Oh. Here's where you can go back into their fields and see the flowers. It says that it's only 5 euro a person and kids are free.
How'd it go?
Good. Got a couple of pretty flowers. The guy in the barn was like, "You don't want 30? A big bundle of flowers?" I was like, "Well, we fly back in 2 days." He said, "Ah, it's the experience." I'm like, this is an experience enough for a 4-year-old. Another cool reason to ride your bike around this area, except for seeing all the gorgeous tulips, is getting to ride through all the quaint little neighborhoods to see the houses. It's just really cool to see the different types of architecture.
So we just returned our bikes, and I think renting the bikes was an incredible experience. I'm so glad we did it. We just lucked out because they had one bike left with the child carrier.
Yes,
and
with the wagon.
The whole time we were in Keukenhof, Griffin was like, I want to do bikes. And
yes, and I told Lucas, I said, you're going to have one upset kid if we get over to the bike stand and they don't have any bikes with the wagon, because I don't know what we would have done.
But renting the bikes was such a cool experience. I loved having the fields of the flowers on one side, and then you had the canal on the other side. We got to bike through lots of really quaint neighborhoods and see some beautiful houses. So the price to rent the bikes actually was not that bad. It was 11 euro for an adult bike for 3 hours, and for the child carrier with the adult bike was 25 euro. So that was not bad. And then if you wanted to do the full day, it was just a few more euro additional. So we've spent pretty much the whole entire day here in this area, just right around Keukenhof. We spent about like 5 hours in Keukenhof.
In the garden.
And then about 3 hours doing the bikes. There's a special path. I think it's the green route that we did, and whenever you rent the bikes, they explain like the different areas that they suggest that you should go to see the flowers. So one thing I really liked about renting the bikes was because inside Keukenhof it was very busy and crowded, lots of people, but whenever we rented the bikes we kind of got to be on our own, away from the crowds, and kind of see the fields and stuff by ourselves. So I thought that was really cool.
It is touristy, but it is worth it.
So if you do come to Amsterdam or come to this area, we would recommend coming out here and seeing the flowers, not just staying in the city. But the flowers are only here for about 8 weeks. So make sure whenever you're planning your trip that you try to book it between that 8-week period where the flowers are blooming. So thanks for watching, and don't forget to like and subscribe.
Bye.